Today was terrible. I had a couple workouts recently that they've just been awful. Stuff that a month ago was just easy. And now all of a sudden it's just insanely hard. Today's like the worst day I've had. I'm just depressed right now. This is kind of part of it. I just cycle like this. I'm super bummed out right now. Shower smoothie.
My mom took me to see a psychologist when I was one. I don't know why, I have no idea what she saw, but moms know.
She said to me, "Why are you here?" And I said, "Because I think my child is depressed." And she basically blew me off. I just had a sense that things weren't joyful for him.
There's no doubt that I was sad, really sad. Later on, I was about 12 when I got diagnosed with major depression. My life with mental health continued through my adolescence, through a diagnosis with bipolar, suffering from trauma and PTSD. And so it's become a very important part of my life and a part of my life that I need to talk about. Yo, dude. Definitely noticed I'm cycling through different levels of confidence the closer I get to leaving. Now that I've been training for nearly 10 months, you get so fatigued from the goal and the same thoughts running through your head over and over and over again that there's questions about your motivation. It just kind of starts to fray. And in some ways, I think that's actually where I need to be. But in other ways, it runs the risk of playing with my mind in a way that is unhealthy. I'm battling with this psychology of superstition and fear where I receive these notes from people or, "Hey, I've been thinking about you." It's hard not to get superstitious, like, oh, am I going out to die? Like, am I tying up all the loose ends before I go out into battle and not come home? That's a horrifying thought, but it's also a real thought. I think about dying every day at this point.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Not good.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what's up. I think what happened was the workout 2 days ago was I pushed so hard. My body wanted to quit. My head wanted to quit. And it was the first time that heart made sense as an element in training. Because I'm like, well, what if I feel like this at 28,000 feet? That I feel exhausted. This is the first time I felt exhausted in a long time.
Okay. Do you want to get down on the table?
Okay. Our contemporary society has an evolving relationship with mental health, but we have a long way to go. It's important to understand that we as a culture treat mental health as an other kind of disease. Nobody goes around and sort of goes, yeah, oh, he's got celiac. He's got celiac disease. But they do say, he suffers from depression. Why? And there's no difference there. Rather than there being a sort of an autoimmune malfunction, there's a neuroscience malfunction. And beyond that, it's far more prevalent than anybody wants to really admit. Lots of people want to know about this stuff, so you asked for it, here it is. I take them for bipolar disorder. I've had bouts of clinical depression as well. If I can put myself out there and offer this up in that way, but if it helps just one person come around, that is worth every single ounce of time and effort I put into it. I'll try to answer your questions best I can, and maybe we'll do a Facebook Live or something and just talk about it.
This is good. You want to release all this from your nervous system.
part of the human condition, and the only way through it is to turn into it, face it openly, honestly, and embrace it.
Keep breathing.
One thing that I need to be clear about is that we're not going to climb this line to raise awareness around mental health. We're going there to climb, but if I didn't at least have the conversation around mental health by virtue of this, it'd be a wasted opportunity. I'm a mess.
You're not a mess. Your self-talk is as important as anything else right now.
Topo, Topito. I think one of the things that makes climbing with Topo so fun is just saying his name. Topito, Topito.
Topo, he found his way into climbing similar to me. He was sort of wandering far off course.
It was really a coincidence almost that I started into climbing. These professors found us drinking and smoking one day, like you imagine, like 14 years old. And the director of the school was, the only way I can save your asses is if you go into the climbing club and like just make the commitment of going to the mountain every weekend. And that really opened the doors for me. And I just realized that impossible is my friend, kind of thing. When I face those things, like something that it's maybe impossible, it's like, actually probably it's not, so let's go and try it. I went to Everest for the first time in 2013. After that summited, I became the youngest non-Sherpa climber to summit without supplemental oxygen. Going to Everest then wasn't really about climbing Everest. It was about discovering the limit of my body. My first impression when I met Cory in the mountain is that he's a nice, good person. For me, with my climbing partners, that's the main thing I look for. I grew up in an environment where if you tell your feelings and that kind of thing, you're weak. But talking to Cory was exactly the opposite. Like, it's just being brutally honest about all you feel and how you are and who you are. And that's important for me. That's a characteristic of a person that makes me, feel like this is a person I want to spend time with. In 2017, there was a moment when, he wasn't performing well. He didn't take his depression pills or medicine for several days. He just forgot. Then I realized, how serious it was for him.
There's a dramatic misunderstanding in our culture around what it means to be affected by mental health. And there's a certain sense of being closed to the whole conversation until you're touched by it. We have to confront it, and we have to be, open and honest about it, and understand that it's not a weakness, and in fact, in many ways, it can be a profound strength and a profound source of inspiration. It is absolutely just another piece of life.